Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be exploring something really interesting.
Hold on.
It's something that's already changing all of our lives in ways that we probably don't even realize. We're talking about edge computing in China, and specifically this company called ZTD Digital Technology that's making some waves in this space.
Yeah, edge computing is one of those things. It's kind of like a quiet revolution.
Right.
You know how we're all interacting with tech?
Yeah.
But no one really knows what it is.
Exactly. But it's behind like so much of what we do online, especially when it comes to like speed and responsiveness. If you think about like streaming a movie with no buffering or like playing a game online with minimal lag, that's edge computing at work. It's bringing that processing power closer to the user instead of relying on like those distant...
Yeah, it's like bringing the data center closer to you.
Those distant data centers.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The implications are kind of crazy. It goes way beyond just entertainment. We're talking about like self-driving cars, remote surgery, the metaverse, all these things that need like super fast processing and very little lag to actually work, right?
Right.
Edge computing makes it happen.
Yeah. So let's talk about ZTD Digital Technology. From what we've been able to gather from our sources, they're aiming to be like the one-stop shop for all things edge computing in China.
Well, they've been around since like 2005.
Okay.
And they've built a team of over 100 people, and they have branches
all
over China. And they've really positioned themselves as a solutions provider for everything.
Oh, wow.
From developing chips all the way to building like the whole network infrastructure.
Yeah. They've got partnership agreements in like multiple cities just this year alone.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's really amazing the scale of ambition that's in the Chinese tech sector right now. This isn't about catching up to the West anymore. It's about like setting a new standard for edge computing.
Totally.
How it's used, how it's deployed.
Yeah. And it makes sense given China's position, in the global computing landscape.
Right.
The fact that they have the second largest computing power in the world.
It's wild.
It's a huge indicator of where things are heading.
It really is. It's like a fundamental shift. You know how electricity changed everything, changed societies and industries. We're seeing a similar thing now with computing power.
It's becoming like a utility.
It really is. It's becoming a new essential resource, just like water.
Yeah.
Or electricity.
And it seems like China is recognizing that at the national level.
You're absolutely right.
I mean, their infrastructure development plan even emphasizes making major investments in computing power infrastructure.
That's not just talk either.
Right.
Think about the massive computing demands of projects like the Jiangmen Underground Neutrino Observatory that's trying to unlock the secrets of the universe.
Wow.
Or China's very ambitious space program. They want to send astronauts to Mars by 2050.
Wow.
These types of endeavors need like massive amounts of computing power just to even get started.
So where does ZTD fit into this big picture? From the diagrams we've been able to see, it looks like they're positioning themselves as kind of a bridge between the user and those major cloud providers like Alibaba, Tencent, Huawei.
ZTD is focusing on building and managing these things called CDNs.
Okay.
Or content delivery networks.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially, they're networks of servers all spread out in different spots that store like copies of popular content.
So instead of your request having to travel all the way to, let's say, Alibaba's main server, it can be served from a ZTD CDN location that's much closer to you.
It's like having a grocery store in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Instead of having to drive across town to the big supermarket.
I like that analogy.
Yeah. So that's how you can stream your shows with no buffering.
Right.
Or download a big file in like seconds.
And I imagine that's a big part of how they generate revenue, right?
Yes. They provide those CDN services, and they act as kind of like a middleman.
Yeah.
Between the content providers and the users.
Okay.
There's a few ways they can make money off of this. One way is they charge users based on how much data is going through their CDN network.
So it's like a toll road for data.
Yeah, like a data toll road, exactly.
So the more you use it, the more you pay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So ZTD is really capitalizing on the need for speed and efficiency in this digital world.
Yeah, and from what we're seeing, they're not limiting themselves to just one approach. They call it a chip-to-terminal strategy. They're involved in everything from chip development to the end-user devices.
I think that's really fascinating because it gives them control over the whole process.
Yeah.
From the silicon to the software.
Right.
And that lets them do this level of customization and integration that's like pretty unique in the market.
And they're applying that across a bunch of different products.
Yeah.
Smart homes, wearable tech, specialized edge servers for businesses, and even like digital signage. It seems like they're betting that edge computing is going to be in every part of modern life.
That's a really bold vision.
Right.
But given how technology is going and China's commitment to being a leader in this space,
yeah,
it might not be as far-fetched as it sounds.
Yeah. And that's where we're going to pick things up in part 2 of this deep dive. We're going to be exploring ZTD's vision of the future.
Okay.
And how edge computing may impact your life in ways you can't even imagine yet.
Welcome back to our deep dive into edge computing in China.
Last time we were exploring ZTD digital technology and how they're setting themselves up to be a major player in this emerging tech.
Yeah, we talked about their ambitious strategy, the chip-to-terminal thing.
Yeah.
And how they're really using their CDN expertise to find their own space in this, crazy, fast-moving market.
And the fact that China has the second largest computing power in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Which is mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah, it's like, what does that even mean for us?
I know.
You know what I mean? The implications for tech development are huge.
And how that computing power is starting to be seen as a necessary resource.
Right.
Just like water or electricity.
Like powering all these innovations in space exploration and scientific research.
Yeah, so now I'm kind of curious to dig a bit deeper into ZTD's business model.
Okay.
So we know they're providing CDN services and acting as these intermediaries. Mm-hmm. But what does that actually look like when we talk about how they're making money?
Think of it like this. They're basically creating a fast lane on the information superhighway.
Okay.
Their CDN network allows content to get to users way quicker and smoother than those old ways.
So they're selling speed and reliability.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there are a couple ways they can get paid for that.
Right.
One way is they can charge users, whether it's companies or regular people, based on how much data they're pushing through their network.
Yeah.
It's like paying a toll to use that fast lane.
Okay, so the more you use it, the more you pay.
Right, exactly.
That makes sense.
But then there's also that whole thing about them being a broker.
Yeah.
Between the content providers and the big cloud platforms.
Right.
So how do they make money from that? Well, imagine those big cloud providers like Alibaba Cloud, Tencent Cloud.
Okay.
As these massive warehouses full of data.
Okay.
And they need a way to get that data to people all over the world.
Yeah.
That's where ZTD comes in.
So they're renting out space on their CDN infrastructure.
Yeah, you can think of ZTD as a network of distribution centers in all the right places.
Ah, okay.
And by partnering with them, the cloud providers get their stuff closer to the users.
Right.
Which means faster loading times, smoother streaming, and everyone's happy.
So it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah. The cloud providers can deliver their content better. ZTD makes money off their infrastructure.
Yeah.
And the users get a better experience.
And this business model really makes sense with the growing importance of edge computing in China.
Absolutely.
We're seeing this huge increase in internet users, a push for tech independence, and these ambitious national projects that need massive computing power.
It's wild.
Which brings us to a broader question.
Okay.
Why is China investing so much in edge computing?
What's driving this?
Yeah.
Well, one factor is just the size of their digital economy.
Okay.
They have the largest internet user base in the world.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get bigger.
Right.
And as more people come online, the demand for a faster, better digital experience grows like crazy.
So it's not just about speed, but about managing the sheer amount of data.
Yeah, the volume.
Yeah.
All that data being generated and consumed by millions of people. Edge computing offers a solution to that by spreading out that processing power closer to where the data is coming from and where it's being accessed.
I see.
It also seems like it aligns with China's goal of being a world leader in emerging tech.
Yeah.
They're not just content with using tech anymore.
Right.
They want to be the ones innovating and setting the trends.
Right.
And they see edge computing as a key part of that.
Yeah, they're basically putting themselves right at the front of the next wave of innovation.
That's right.
Speaking of innovation, let's talk about some potential applications of edge computing beyond what we've already talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Our sources suggest that this tech could really change a whole bunch of industries and affect our lives in so many ways.
The possibilities are endless. Let's start with AI.
Okay.
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So these algorithms need a ton of computing power
right.
to process data learn and make decisions.
Yeah.
And edge computing can bring that processing power closer to where it's needed.
Okay.
Enabling like real-time AI capabilities.
So instead of relying on one central server to process everything and send back instructions,
right,
edge computing allows AI systems to make decisions locally and react right away to changes.
Exactly. This opens up all these possibilities for things like self-driving cars that can avoid accidents in real time.
Oh, wow.
Personalized healthcare systems that can track your health and give you instant feedback.
Oh, wow.
Or smart cities that can manage traffic and energy use based on real-time data.
Okay, so what about the metaverse?
Right.
You know, that immersive digital world that everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
How does edge computing affect that?
Just imagine the amount of processing power needed.
Right.
To create these like super realistic and responsive virtual environments.
Right.
You have to render really high-quality graphics. Track people's movements, simulate physics, handle interactions between millions of users, all in real time.
That sounds intense.
It is. But edge computing can help.
Okay.
By bringing processing power closer to the users. And to the virtual world itself. You can reduce lag, improve how responsive it is, and create more immersive and believable experiences.
So it's not just making it look better, it's making it feel more real.
Exactly. Imagine a virtual world where you can touch things and interact with other people with no delays. That's the kind of seamless experience edge computing can offer.
Okay. And we can't forget about 6G networks.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be even faster and more powerful than 5G.
Right.
How does edge computing fit into that?
Well, those 6G networks are going to be handling a crazy amount of data from millions of devices.
Right.
All talking to each other and sharing info at super speeds.
Yeah.
Edge computing will be essential for managing all that data flow and making sure there's low latency.
Okay.
For applications that need instant responses.
It's like the nervous system of a super connected world.
Yeah, keeping everything running smoothly.
Yeah.
It seems like edge computing is going to be a really big part of our digital future.
Right. And that brings us back to ZTD.
Oh, okay.
And their plans to grow beyond China.
Right.
They're looking at Asia, Europe, and America.
Oh, wow.
They want to be a global force in edge computing.
Ambitious.
So this isn't just happening in China.
Right.
It's a global thing.
Yeah.
It's going to change technology and innovation all over the world.
Totally.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
We'll dig into those global implications and ZTD's ambitions in part 3 of our deep dive. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into edge computing. We've covered a lot of ground talking about ZTD digital technology and the potential of edge computing.
Yeah, from AI to the metaverse, you know.
Totally. We also talked about how edge computing is becoming almost as important as like electricity or water.
Or like utility.
And what it means for China's global ambitions in this space.
Yeah.
But now I want to kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about what all this means for you.
Right.
The listener.
Yeah. How does it actually affect people?
How is edge computing going to impact your everyday life?
You're probably already seeing some of the benefits without even knowing it.
Really?
Think about how much faster your internet has gotten.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to stream HD videos now.
Right.
Or play online games without all that lag.
Right.
That's partly because of edge computing.
So is it just going to keep getting faster and smoother?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But it goes way beyond entertainment.
Okay.
Edge computing can like totally change how we work and learn too.
Oh, wow.
Imagine going to a virtual conference.
Yeah.
With people from all over the world.
Yeah.
But there's like zero lag.
Yeah.
And the video is crystal clear.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Or taking online courses where the simulations respond instantly to whatever you do.
Yeah, that would be a game changer for remote work and online education.
For sure. No more dealing with those choppy video calls or waiting forever for things to load.
I'm already sold.
And think about how edge computing can change how we use smart devices.
Oh, okay.
Imagine your fridge.
Mm-hmm.
Just ordering groceries when you're running low.
Yeah.
Or a security system that can spot threats.
Yeah.
And respond right away.
It's like having a personal assistant that's always thinking ahead.
Right. And that's just the beginning. As edge computing becomes more common and easier to get.
Yeah.
It's going to give developers the power to create all kinds of new apps.
Right.
That we haven't even thought of yet.
It's like opening up this whole new world of possibilities.
Totally.
Yeah.
But it's not all perfect. Like any new tech, there are some challenges.
Right.
And potential risks with edge computing.
Okay, let's talk about that. What are some of the concerns?
One big one is data security.
Oh, yeah.
As we move processing power closer to the edge, We need to make sure that data is protected
right.
from hackers and people who shouldn't have access.
Yeah.
This means we need strong security measures.
Yeah.
And we have to be really careful about data privacy.
At every point in the network.
Exactly. It's not just about those central servers anymore.
Yeah.
It's about securing all those little edge devices too.
And then there's the complexity of it all.
Yeah. Managing all these spread out devices could be a real headache.
Right.
You need fancy software and skilled people
right.
to make sure everything works right.
It sounds like a logistical nightmare.
It can be, especially as the number of edge devices just keeps growing.
Oh, right.
We also need to think about how much energy all these devices will use.
Yeah.
We've got to make sure they're energy efficient.
Yeah, so there are environmental impacts too.
Right. It's about finding that sweet spot between technological progress and taking care of our planet.
But even with all these challenges, the benefits of edge computing are huge.
They really are.
It's a technology that could completely change our lives.
In so many ways.
And companies like ZTD are leading the way.
Right there on the cutting edge.
Pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Absolutely.
Shaping the future of this tech.
It's a really exciting time to see all of this happening.
It is.
But it's also a really important time to talk about how we want this future to look.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Okay.
How do you see edge computing changing your life in the next few years?
Yeah. What opportunities do you see?
What challenges?
And what role will you play in shaping this tech?
Because in the end, the future isn't set in stone.
That's right.
It's up to all of us
to make it work for everyone.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.